you helping?
Hi everyone, Chelsea O Studio here, and today we're doing Color Theory Part 2. Hi everyone, welcome back to the studio. So a couple weeks ago we did a color theory video where we went over primary colors, secondary colors, and the words hue, local color, and value. So we're going to expand upon that a little bit today, very briefly, and then I'm going to do 2 speed drawings for you guys. Today's first word is tertiary colors. So tertiary colors are like the in-betweens. So we talked about primary, which is red, blue, and yellow. And we talked about secondary, which is purple, orange, and green, and tertiaries happen in between those. So the tertiary colors are red-orange, yellow-orange, yellow-green, blue-green, blue-violet, red-violet. Pretty easy, right? Just know we are talking about a very, very simple color wheel. So, of course, this is not all of the 10 million possible colors out there. This is just a very easy way to categorize certain color schemes. The second word that we're talking about is complementary colors. I know a lot of people don't know what complementary colors are, and so I asked my husband what he thought complementary colors were, and he said,
Complementary colors are when red walks up to blue, says, "What's up, Blue? You look good today."
And as hilarious as that is to me, because I think it's real funny, that's not what they are. Complementary colors are actually colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel. So the complementary colors that we generally talk about are between the primaries and the secondary colors. However, it can be also including tertiary colors and any color in between. As long as they are opposite, they are complementary colors. So the complementary colors that we are most familiar with are red and green, blue and orange, and yellow and purple. And the last word we're going to talk about in this video is analogous. Analogous colors are 2 to 3 colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. I won't be doing a drawing of the tertiary colors because I want to use markers and I don't have a lot of tertiary colors in my markers. Maybe in the future I'll do a painting where I can have more access to more colors, but for today, we are just going to do a drawing about complementary and analogous colors. For the first drawing, I'll be doing complementary colors, and I am choosing the complementary colors of purple and yellow. When using any color palette to make artwork, you need to make sure that you use the entire range of value for that hue. So I'll be using from light to dark all of the yellow markers that I have and all of the purple markers that I have. Or at least that's what I had in mind whenever I started doing this. But I realized very quickly that Maleficent is a pretty flat character that doesn't have a lot of range of value. So I chose to take this time to show you guys instead that you can still get something really cool even if you don't use all of the hues. Ideally, you really should, but there are obviously tons of art styles out there, and there's really cool ways that you can use complementary colors even in a simplistic art style like cartooning. So what I've done here is I took my darkest purple, realized it wasn't dark enough, and then layered it with my second darkest purple. And then I am just filling in her cloak. I had already drawn this before I started filming just to save some time. So if you guys are interested in actually seeing the drawing process, let me know. I did her skin a very light purple as well because her skin in the movie is actually a light greenish color, like a light mint almost. But again, that wasn't part of my color scheme, so I worked with what I had. I was able to layer some mid-range purples to give her a little bit of a shadow on her cheek and then the shadow above her eye. And then I went in and did the accents with the yellow. I really only used 2 or 3 different kinds of yellow, so there weren't a whole bunch here. And I layered a little bit of purple on top of the handle to the staff before moving on to the background just to make it look a little bit darker. And here I'm using quick strokes in a diagonal direction just to add some visual interest to the background. And then I decided to go in with a lighter yellow and work my way all the way around just to give it a little bit more extra oomph. So here is the finished Maleficent piece. She is pretty cool in my opinion. I think that, again, if I had actually layered the colors and went for a more realistic approach, it would have been a better example of how to use these complementary colors. But regardless, I did accomplish a really great piece just using complementary colors. So I know that you guys can do it too. The next drawing that I'm going to be doing is going to be analogous colors. For simplicity's sake, I will be taking out the tertiaries and I will be using only primary and secondary analogous colors. So I'm going to be using the colors red, orange, and purple. So I was super excited to do this one because Aurora is my favorite princess. I started out with a yellow, quickly realizing that, oh crap, yellow wasn't one of my analogous colors. So then I went in and layered over the top of that with an orange, a lighter orange that I had, just to make sure that I stay in my color scheme. Went over the lips with a nice red violet color that I have. Since I wasn't using tertiaries, I counted red, violet in the red family. Since I was using both red and purple, I could achieve the same thing by just mixing red and purple together. So I just skipped a step. Went into her skin with a pink, and then I started coloring her shirt with a light purple that I have to help with the white part of Briar Rose's, I guess they're her village clothes, her peasant clothes. I don't really know what to call them. And then for the skirt, I layered yellow and purple to give it a little bit of a brownish tinge, and then shaded with purple. Her cloak, I went in with a red violet and then shaded with a violet, nice dark purple. For the creases, I wanted to darken the hair just a little bit, so I added some more orange to the shadows. And for the basket, I went and layered orange and purple, and then for the shadows, I just went in with purple. After the basket was nice and shaded, I colored the leaves with my darkest purple that I have, and then did the berries in a red, and shaded the red berries with purple. And finally, I wanted to make the background kind of a mirror of what I did with Maleficent, but rather than putting the darker color around and then a lighter color on the edges of the paper, I wanted the glow around Aurora to be lighter and then the edges to be darker. So a light pink around her and then a nice bright red violet around the edges. Then I finished with some white touch-ups and some touch-ups with the pen. And here's the finished piece. I love Princess Aurora so much. I think that the movie is so beautiful and they did such an amazing job with her character design. She's always been my favorite. And funny enough, Maleficent's my favorite villain. But interesting story, Maleficent's my favorite villain because of Kingdom Hearts. But anyways, I feel like the point I was trying to make is more successful with this piece because I did use a wide range of value. And a lot of different types of colors to achieve what I have. The one thing I wish I could take back is the mistake of coloring her hair yellow instead of orange, and I think that going over it with the light orange didn't really make it super orange. That was a lot of orange. But regardless, I still consider this to be a secondary color scheme. Honestly, if there wasn't so much red, this could also kind of pass as a complementary color scheme because I did use purple and yellow here again. But because of the red, that makes it analogous. And in the end of the two, this one's for sure my favorite. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I cannot believe that this is the 9th week that I have been doing this consistently. I don't know how that's even possible, but it has been 9 weeks since I started my YouTube channel, and I am just so thankful for every single one of you guys that comes back and watches every single week. You guys are the best. As always, if you guys want to get some artwork of mine, then visit my website, check out my print club and my prints and stickers that are over there, as well as the original works, and maybe even get a quote for commission. And then if you want to see some behind the scenes and see what I post on a daily basis, check out my Instagram. Other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you next week. Bye!